I've been meaning to do this video for a long time. Today I woke up and I chose the truth. Today I will tell you exactly what happened to me in my encounter with DistroKid. It was January 2021, almost 5 years ago. I released my first ever track. As a small individual artist, it was quite hard to understand and navigate how to release my music. As some of you may know, I am in the hard techno scene. So I've been producing techno/hard techno since the beginning. So it's a very niche genre. It wasn't so that we had so many different record labels offering us positions to release our music. At the time in 2021, I just wanted to put my music out. I didn't expect streams, money. I didn't expect any of that. So I just chose the first available option. This was DistroKid. DistroKid, as most of you may already know or use, is an automated distribution system that releases your music on behalf of you and delivers it to Apple Music, Spotify, and YouTube Music. I chose DistroKid because it was cheap. And at the time, I didn't have the funds to pay for a service that was a bit more tailored. And yet, that was the day that I made my biggest mistake in the industry. Up until November 2025, everything seemed to be working with DistroKid. Every now and then, I would get a notification on my email saying, you need to update your details, you need to update your address, you need to update your email. And so I did. But one morning in November 2025, I woke up to a notification on my phone. It was one of my fans. He commented on my TikTok video and said, "Where is Intoxicated gone?" Intoxicated being my biggest track of all time. He was commenting and saying, "Where is Intoxicated gone? I can't find it on Spotify." I didn't really think much of it at that point until I went onto Instagram and I've seen a couple of DMs stating the exact same thing. My music seems to not be available for other people to listen to. At this point, I shoot out of bed. I go directly to my PC. I log into my DistroKid account, and what do I see? 29 of my tracks that was published by DistroKid completely removed from all the platforms. And I actually pinched myself and I thought, am I still dreaming? Because it did not feel real. 5 years of hard work, 5 years of tears and sweat. My whole life is based around my music. My livelihood, my career, my financial stability is based off of my music. And suddenly, I have none of that. It's completely gone. Obviously, I started getting really anxious and stressed out. So I started reaching to anyone that I could that could help me. First of all, I tried to reach DistroKid support team. So I started chatting to a bot on their website. Funnily enough, I didn't get any form of support. Within the next an hour of chatting to this bot, I was able to chat to a human being through the same chat of the bot chat, and they told me that it's just been flagged by Spotify and it's just been removed. At this point, I'm really not getting any solid answers, and I go directly to Spotify to resolve this. I reached to someone from Spotify within a couple of minutes. They told me DistroKid removed all of my music on behalf of me from Spotify without giving any reason to Spotify. So Spotify clearly said that it wasn't their doing. They didn't initiate this takedown. At this point, I know the only party with the answers is DistroKid. So I tried getting back in touch with DistroKid. I spent about 4 hours talking to a chatbot, and this bot seems to not understand that I am trying to talk to a human being because the bot is not able to understand my problem. It's getting to the evening and I'm getting even more stressed out knowing that I'm not able to speak to anyone. Bear in mind, DistroKid is very automated. It's an automated service. It's not a human-centered service. It's basically made by bots. It's like an app. No one seems to be working in this company like an actual human being. I send maybe 5 emails. I tried to reach them on social media like Instagram and Twitter, but I didn't get any response. Around 9 p.m, I had enough. So I made a video and I shared it on my TikTok and my Instagram. So most of my listeners and my followers helped out. I really appreciate every single one of you that took the time to watch that video and comment and show their support. We had thousands of people tagging DistroKid in these videos to drag DistroKid's attention. Well, they didn't. They didn't even return to me. They didn't even reply to my emails, let alone seeing the bombardment that they're getting on their social media platforms. One of my good friends actually found the COO of the company. He found his personal Instagram account and I reached out to this guy directly because I have no other way of understanding the situation. Whilst this was happening, I was also looking for alternative resolutions because I lost everything. I want my music back on like how it was before. Millions of streams completely gone. My hard work of 5 years, it was just for nothing. Well, the alternative resolutions that I was looking into was other distributors, and other distributors that I was looking into were boutique. To simply explain what that means is it's more tailored service. You have human beings working on behalf of you. They're like the middleman between you and Spotify, and it's an actual human being making the decisions, not an automated bot. So the trust, transparency, and communication was key. So I reached out to Wiseband. Wiseband were really helpful. They told me exactly what to do to get my music back up on all platforms. I gathered all the important metadata, most importantly, ISRC codes. I re-uploaded all of my music with the metadata that was initially locked when I first released these tracks. I basically copy-pasted everything I've done retrospectively and re-uploaded everything. Within the next week, my music started reappearing on Spotify and Apple Music with all the streams back on. I was very happy and relieved. However, within that week of trying to resolve this, I have lost millions of streams that I would normally get. I also lost a lot of playlist placements. So Spotify editorial playlists or people that see your music grayed out completely removed my tracks from their playlist forever. And that amounted to a massive loss on my end. Not only financially, but also statistically. I went from 700,000 monthly listeners to a whopping 400,000 listeners. 300,000 listeners lost because of DistroKid. So my advice to you, all the up and coming DJs and producers, all the individual artists in this industry, do not cheap out. If you go with DistroKid or similar distribution services that are automated, don't say that it's not going to happen to you, because it may. And it has happened to me, and I had the worst week of my life. I felt like I was in a fever dream, and I would not like this to happen to anyone else. Upon my research on how to resolve my case, I've spent hours reading through threads on Reddit of how many other people had to go through this and how stressed out and upset they were. I'm furious because it's January 2026. It's been 3 months and I still not heard from DistroKid. So just imagine, one day I woke up to all of my catalog completely deleted from the face of earth, with no email, no notification, nothing, no communication whatsoever. And for 3 months, there is still nothing. If anyone from DistroKid is watching this video, you have to do better. The service is shocking. The human support is absolutely terrible. I would not recommend DistroKid to my worst enemy. I was going through absolute hell. My mental health was deteriorating, and the sole responsible party is DistroKid. DistroKid, you need to take responsibility. You need to take accountability and say sorry to everyone that you have caused the same problem to. That being said, make sure where you put your trust, because this multi-million-dollar companies, they don't really care about you. They don't care about your music. They don't care about your streams. They're making their money and they're just getting on with their day. They just put a bot to regulate the whole thing and they just run it. They don't care. Don't put your trust in these selfish corporations that do not care about your music. Go with more individual boutique services that you can trust. You can have that transparency. You can talk to a human being when you need it. Finally, I didn't make this video to cause drama. I had many people asking me questions on what actually happened and what I would recommend for them to do. And this video is just me going into detail on what happened and what I would recommend you to do from now on. If you use DistroKid, just leave. If you use any other automated service, reconsider your decision. I would recommend valuing your music and your art beyond everything. Beyond a subscription that costs $10 a month. So value your art and don't cheap out. I hope on the next video we will have a bit more of a happy vibe. So please let me know in the comments what you would like to see me make a video of. That could be helping with production, that could be helping with mixing, or my techniques in general. Just let me know in the comments what you want to see the next video to be about. And hopefully you are having an incredible 2026. Happy New Year to everyone. I love you all and see you on the dance floor very soon. Much love.